Check, my check. All right. Hello. Today I am going to be working on application for a storage organizer. Um, we have a eBay store, and we have a bunch of crap in our storage unit. We had it all organized at one point, but we've just bought and sold so much crap now that it's gotten out of whack. So I'm going to create an app that lets me basically just track where all the items are in our storage unit. Different boxes have items, um, and descriptions and photos of the items and what's in the box. And I'm just going to use Claude to speed it up. It's working is the main concern, and speed, getting it up and going, is what I want. So I'm gonna hire Claude to help me get it done. See how it goes. We working in React Native and developing for Android only. So far, I just got the app up and running, so I didn't have to worry about all that configuration and making sure that the latest version of React Native was going. Uh, Actually, it looks like the old CLI was changed. There was a new community CLI, but we've got that all set up and I'm ready to go. Get my project over here. So I have just my project set over here with Claude. Just a quick description of what it is, and I gave it instructions. Told it that we're creating this app in React Native, Android only. There's going to be boxes. Boxes are going to have a name, an image. I want to have a bunch of NFC stickers. I have a ton of those, so I figured I'd use those to help me keep track of the boxes. And if I see a box on my shelf, I can just hold my phone up to it, see what's in there. Or if the label falls off, like those little sticky labels you can write on, those things fall off all the time on me. So if that falls off, hopefully the NFC sticker's still there, and I can just scan the tag and see what's in the box. I'm gonna be storing everything on Firebase so that myself and my girlfriend can both access that without it being local to my phone. Um, React Native Paper, I've used that in the past, so I just told it to use those components whenever possible. Let me know if it's going to use another library. Oh, there's gonna be multiple screens. So our main screen is just gonna have like a search bar at the top, and then a list of cards at the bottom with the box, and really just the photo, the name of the box. Maybe put like the number of items inside of it. I don't know. It's not really necessary for that. But if you start typing in the search box, I want it to show a list of items that it matched in the bottom instead of those boxes. So it should show cards of items, and then when you click on that item, it should take us to the box, put that item to the top of the list so we can see what box it's in. And then there'll just be a form for creating, editing, and saving. And I guess we'll just get started. So let's just have it create that first screen. Probably gonna need tabs or something for the navigation. So I wanted to create that as well. Looks like it's getting started on that in the app.js. Creating our stack, our navigation stack. There's the home screen. Got our initial query to get the boxes. Looks like it's already got the Firebase stuff hooked up to it. Getting all the boxes, all the items, creating the search function, box presses, item presses. There's the rendering for the box, rendering for the items. And then there's our main page. It's going to hold all the search and the list of our box and items. And then our styles. Let's get that copied over. It did JS. Let's keep this in Typescript. Please rewrite the pages using Typescript. Could have sworn I put that in my original instructions, but AI is not always perfect. Creating us models now. Let me put a spot to add all that. We're going to want controllers and our views. It's got item, an alarm going off with Alexa. Actually, it just wants to put this into a type. I'm just going to go with whatever it says and not try to fight it. The mic did turn back on. Yes, cool. I'm going to drop this model folder for now. It wants types, index.jts. Just got our box, our item, and root stack param list. Okay, that's probably for passing in the items into the view. And then it's got our new app.tsx file over here. Just gonna throw everything in, see what happens. We've got a home screen. And it wants to call this screen, so we'll rename that. Types app. All right, this has TypeScript and JSX in it, so I need it to be a TSX file. It'll give me a new Firebase config. Just throw that in there. I have a list of dependencies here. I'm going to install these. If I don't already have them. Looks like I have some of those already. Should I just copy this package, that JSON file that it gave me? Is it dev peer dev, something like that? We'll just see what happens. I can spell right. No, I'll just install it as a full-on dependency. All right, so all that's there. This is an interface. Why don't you like that? Oh, it's not named right. There it is. Extends, includes, excludes. Screens home. What's wrong with you? The just hide these for now. We don't have that code. This should have come over from that types file. Oh, commented out. Let me just copy this over and let Claude resolve it. Basically, instead of this, we should have done this, handled the render items separately. Should just let Claude do it. Let's see what Claude came up with. So instead of that, it used render list item created. Where is that at? Where's your render list item? Render item. Oh, that's weird. Let's take its whole new home screen. See what it does. Still has an error. I'm gonna go with my solution. I don't want to keep digging into a bunch of errors. And might need to just create a use effect that re-renders on that changing, just to make sure the list actually swaps over whenever we start typing. Let's see if this runs. Did not run. We have another error somewhere. Oh, it doesn't like one of these permissions. Duplicate. These apps can take forever to frickin' build. There's not even much there. Still waiting on it to build. Running pipelines, releases, and PRs at work. That's when you just get up and walk away for a few minutes. Stuff can take forever. All right. It built, but then it lost connection. I cancel that build so I can close all this out. Try again. Here we go. Cool. On our first screen, don't have anything to show. That's weird. The emulator option. All right. So back over here. Let's just do the add box screen. Add box screen should lead into the item screen. At least with the box screen for the form. I don't know why it's doing this in one artifact. I'm gonna have to tell it to break it out. I can't scroll in this. I won't be able to just copy the whole thing. I'm gonna have to go through and select the stuff I want to bring over now. So have it create each of the pages in its own artifact. But I gotta tell it, don't rewrite any code right now in that way, because it very well would just go ahead and rewrite all the doing it anyways. Yeah, if you ask it to change something, sometimes it'll just start changing things, even though you didn't tell it to change things. It's like, hey, don't do this anymore. Do it this way. It's like, okay, let me go back and do everything in that way you just mentioned. Hopefully, it just rewrites the one screen that I asked for before I told it to do that. Cool. Looks like it did. Let me just make sure that it named it the same as it was trying to before. Did not. So this old one was add box. And I called this one box details. Add box, image picker, gallery selector, save, remove, and then let's see what's in this new artifact. That's basically checking to see if there are any changes in the box, and if there was a change, then we want to update it. Looks like it's saving it on the fly. No? Alright. Yeah, this looks like a different screen. What screens did it try to create before? So box details and add box. So let's just create those separately. Add box screen. I'll just select that from that first artifact. There it is. And then box details. Help if I no pick it up as TS anyways. I'm just gonna put that on there anyway. Ah, these are screens. These are TSX. Let's just wrap that up real quick. If that fails, I'll tell Claude to fix it. Let's see what that looks like now. Reload the app. Add a box. Could not. Oh, gotta uncomment these. There we go. This box contains items. Let me open a debugger, see what is going on. It's not able to write to the Firestore database. Save. And that might be because of my configuration for the Firebase. Yep, I'm about to set this up. I need a .env file. Well, let's see if it'll just pick everything up for me. Okay, project ID, storage bucket, messaging sender, and app ID. Cool. And then I'm gonna go set this up in Firestore. So I'm gonna leave you guys over there. There it is. Needed the app name. see if that works now. Nope, still an error with Firebase. Trying to hard code all these values in real quick, see if that fixes it. Maybe it's not referencing from my .env file properly. Missing or insufficient permissions. I didn't register this properly with the Google services. I'm just gonna update my security real quick to allow all. Reload. What is it trying to save this to? Come on. Add a box. Save it. There we go. Looks like the context isn't updating after that. And we have, I don't think we added it to the stack. Where's my app? There it is. We did not. Bring that out. What? Oh, we didn't put that code in here. That is here. There we go. Let me see that, please. The query requires an index. You can create it here. Let me see what the database looks like. Got a box with an ID. But the box ID is not the same as the document ID. All right, let's update. Or is this trying to store all boxes in here? So just asking it how it's saving that stuff. We do save them all in one document. We need to name the document something that we know so we can reference it. If you are going to save each box in its own document, then we need to save the box ID as the document ID so that we can find a specific box easily. So, huh? Wow. Actually, to clarify this, my current implementation, I'm saving each box as its own document and the boxes collection, but I'm letting Firestore auto-generate the document ID instead of using the box ID as document ID. Let me explain the current approach and the better approach you're suggesting. Current approach not optimal. Your suggestion. Okay. So that's in the add box screen. Save. Right here. Now that's for a update. Is there not a save in here? Update. Did I just miss it? Set items. Direct access docs, DB boxes, box ID instead of querying, no duplicate prevention, document ID uniqueness prevents duplicate boxes, no need to search for box ID field, direct document access versus collection queries. Box ID as document ID recommended, single document with array. I would rather use separate documents. If you want to split them up that way, are you storing the items in? Was it planning on storing the items separately? You're planning on saving the items in a separate container. Well, that makes sense. Match the items up with the box ID instead of having to search each box for all items during our search. That's fine. So let's go with each box and each item being its own document instead of an array, and save the box item ID as the document ID. And it needs to add an update for the box details screen. If we change, all right, the box details screen is just a view. There's gonna be a box edit screen. So this is just viewing this box. Oh, and then we can search the items in this box specifically. Cool. But over here is the most likely spot to search. All right, so we got our ad box screen. Place it. Home screen. Let's see what this looks like. Gonna refresh. All right, so there's our box. Still getting this error. I am getting this error when visiting the box details screen. You know what? Probably because a box was created with a different structure, so let me delete it. Delete that document. We'll come back over here. Add a new box. Save it. All right, and it updated the state there, or did it? It could still be holding that box we deleted. Nope, still getting an issue. Why do I have two debug windows? Reattach. I'm getting two errors here. Two errors when doing the box details screen. This one and this one. Well, we shouldn't be using multiple layers. We should just be grabbing the box by the ID. Oh, you only gave me the add box code, huh? Add box and home screen. So yeah, now we gotta update the details where it's actually querying. So we got an error over here. Must have hit copy just a little bit too early. Let's reload the app. Take a look at our box. Cool, no errors that time. All right. It did not error out that time. Let's create this screen to add the items to the box. Alexa, turn off John's office. Got it. Got our interface, declaration, and some state objects. Using that to update the title at the top. Should be getting a specific box here. Is it getting? It's getting all boxes. We should be retrieving the box ID from the main screen and then passing that ID in as the document ID. Instead of fetching everything. Oh well, I'll just go this route for now. I'll probably make it a little more efficient later on. Add item screen. Paste that in there, come back to our main screen. And this. Probably the image thing again, yeah. Figure out. Needs a specific image library options. Is that valid? It is. Import that type. Go. Let's restart the app again. Let's see if we can add an item to this box. Yeah, need to install this icon library. Item added. It's got 3 items in it. Uh-oh. Oh, that's because it wants to take to the edit. So if I search item here, boom, there's the item. Should take me to the box. Now we're in the box. Should have the box name though. Cool. Let's add this last screen. Wrong button. It's like good. Let's add the final screen. We need the item edit screen, please. I probably just need to register the icons in the Gradle or something. Oh, they're not loading. See if this one actually has an update. Oh, we're storing the images locally. Oh, that's right, because we're using the image picker library, which is fine because I don't want to convert it to base64 and save it in the cloud. That's huge. Eat up all my tokens or not my tokens, or the bandwidth for accessing that database on the free account. Okay, this one actually has a save in it. Let's get this over. Then I'll update Claude with the code that I have, and I'll tell it to make sure all the saves and updates are in place. So now item edit screen. Save that. Got some errors. So this image, library options. Just take that S off, tab. String undefined is not assignable to type string null. Well, if it's undefined, just say it's null. Or we could update the type and just say image is optional. Is that the only image it says? I'm fine with saving a null image. We don't necessarily need one. Whenever we save that image, we'll just, or whenever we save the box, we'll make sure that we're not trying to store a null image into, what is this type? Form data. Form data. Oh. Where is this state at? Undefined or null. Form data. I'll get to the right spot eventually. Or were we just editing this? I want to make sure I reverted it all the way back. Okay, and update that interface again. So question mark lets us say it's undefined, and then we're also handling a null by saying it could be that, or a string or null. So let's restart our app again. As we got our box, and then I need to put that into our stack. And then import that screen, get rid of this old comment, restart the app again. All right, emulator or box. Let's see the details. Cool. So item. Oh, it's registering backspace as a navigation. Oh, control backspace. Whoa. Okay. I did not know the control in this emulator would trigger a navigation event. Pearls. Update. Okay. And that error is internal assertion failed. Unexpected state. All right, Claude, fix it for me. Got an error trying to update the item. Here's the error. This error looks like a Firestore internal assertion failure, which can happen due to various reasons. Let me create a more robust version of the item edit screen with better error handling and safer Firestore operations. I hate when it tries to edit an existing artifact. As you saw there, it was adding code in the imports. Oh, it looks like it cleaned it up. Okay. So while it was adding the code, it was just writing right in the middle of some of these imports, but it looks like it updated itself and moved it to the proper spot afterwards. I used to have issues where it would not do that. This is the item edit screen, new code, check for errors again. Yep. image library options, and update this interface. Restart the app. And let's try to edit that item again. That is a weird autocomplete. What clipboard are you taking that from? Weird. Mirror. Updated successfully. Go back to our main screen, search for mirror. There it is. Boom. Oh, there's the name of the box. Okay. Would help if I didn't just write test on everything. Yeah, we're missing edit. Oh, I forgot. Forgot to bring the emulator back up. But yeah, I was able to get in here, get into our item, update these, and now it saves. I want to go back to the main screen, search for diamond. There's our item, open it up, brings us into our test box, shows us our items. We're good to go. But it's missing some stuff, so let me come over here and update the knowledge base. I'll just grab all of our screens. If I can find the right repository. All right, so our screens. Here's all of our screens. Let's get our, not the Firebase config. I want our types. I want our image picker utility. And probably our app TSX. All right. We have a working app and some missing functionality. The edit box screen does not have a save button or function to handle that. And then what else were we missing? The view box screen needs an edit button. And I think that's all that's really missing. Add item on the boxes. When I'm in the items, we got the update. Also, the icons are not reading in. Can you help me set up the configuration properly? You don't have a box edit screen.tsx. We have a add box screen though. We should just reuse that and load it in. But if you want to give me a box edit screen, we'll go that route. Box edit screen.tsx. There's our box. Oh, come on, let me click it. I guess we'll wait. It's hung up. It wants to create more artifacts. We gotta add that new page to the stack. And now that it has all of the code in its knowledge base with the changes that I've made to type like the options properly and update that interface, it should spit that back out with those same changes. It shouldn't remove those. Hopefully. But we'll see. Man, has the audio not been coming through this whole time? Or the music? And over here jamming. Spotify. That was not the button I wanted to hit. It sucks that it names these windows. It's Spotify.exe, but then the name of the song is there. Like, so next time, whenever I load up and I try to get it to play Spotify, it's trying to find the specific song, specific window instead of just finding, yeah, window match priority, match title, otherwise find window of same type. Oh, of same executable. There we go. Should fix it. Is that updated on all screens? Yes. Cool. The music won't be in the VOD, but that's while I'm streaming, it's there. Cool, so spit out a bunch of code over here. Except I can't get to the box edit. I cannot access the box edit screen artifact. Can you please reproduce it? All right, we got our types. Let's update these. App TSX. Updating that. Box detail screen. This should be the whole thing, hopefully. Looks like it. The box details. I'll go through the configuration in a little bit for those icons. Let's wait for this. As soon as I see styles, all right, I'm gonna copy it. At least I'll have that much if it fails again. All right, we got the whole thing. All right. So everything seems to be working again. Let's reload the app once more. So we should have everything except for our icons working at this point. We've got our box. Here's the item. I update the items. I don't like the autocompletes that are showing up in this emulator. Well, diamonds really shiny. Let's reset. Make sure it's not just the local state. It's actually pulling that from the DB. And just smack the crap out of my mic. Cool. So I pulled it back, and I'm assuming this is our edit button. Our precious gems box. Holds our booty. Update it. That worked. To restart the app again. Make sure it's actually there. Precious gems boxes. Got one item. It's got one item, but it actually has two of that. Do I care about that? We have two diamonds, but it's only showing one item. But weird, diamonds is under one item. Let's just leave it as it is. Let's add another item. Ruby. Precious. We have one of those. Save it. Go back to the main screen. So now we have two items. Our rubies and our diamonds. And that's it. So let me look at this configuration for the icons. Make sure that the library is actually installed. There was. And then to our app, build.gradle. Need to add this. No dependencies, it just says at the bottom. So let's clean it. All right, let's just do it all. CD into Android, clean. Go back to our application directory and then restart it. It's got a bunch of optional and alternative things here. Hopefully that was all it needed. If not, I'll move over to the material community icons instead of the React Native vector icons. Just got to rebuild the entire app because it just wiped out the cache. So it could take a second. We'll see if it builds and fails to connect to the emulator. Probably have to run it again, but at least the second build would be a lot faster. Yep, I failed to connect. Let's shut it all down. Rebuild. How long has this been? An hour 20. That's not bad. from completely new bare bones application to a working product in an hour and 20 minutes using Claude. This is connected to Firestore. I can install it on my phone, install it on my girlfriend's phone. We'll both have access to everything. We can both view and edit. I want to test this image thing, but I don't know if it's going to use my images or 3D World. Let's see. Oh, so we only have image picker, so I'm going to need to set up taking a photo with the camera as well. All right. Let's refresh Claude with our new files. App TSX. Our utility, our image picker, that's what it's going to need to update. Our types. And all of our screens. Let's take a look at this image picker real quick. Is it storing it to local? Oh, we have a camera option already. So we probably need to ask for permission. Is it just on the item or is it on the box as well? It's on both. All right, so our image picker is only allowing to select an image from the gallery. Let's update this to also allow the option to take a picture with the camera. Also, let's update the, well, let me see, app TSX. Is it asking for permissions already? It is not. What about our home screen? Is it lower down in our image picker? Open camera, open gallery. It's not. Also, let's ask the user for the appropriate permissions. Camera, gallery, NFC. When the app first launches, I want those to create custom. Oh, wait. I just saw it. It's right there. So on the open camera, it checks to see if the permission is there. And if it's not, copied it, it alerts and asks for it. But I think we want to ask that when the app first launches anyways. I want to ask for it later on. Create custom permission request modals. Then you can add options in those custom ones to say like, oh, it's for this and that, and it's only going to be used for this reason. Of course, it's just going to be for personal use, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'll also create a new permission manager. Grab that code. The permission needs to be a type of permission. FC does not exist. Hmm. All right, I'll ask Claude about that one when it's done. And permission here needs to be of type permission. And then NFC again. There's our custom. So now we can change this message to say what we wanted to say. Looks like it gives us 3 options: ask later, cancel, okay. I think that if you do this option though, it 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 stores that response and it doesn't pop back up. So I want to make sure that it reflects that. If you click it, you're gonna have to go into your settings and manually revoke the response or give it those permissions. Oh man, Claude is spitting out all kinds of stuff over here. What's a new folder? Components and permission modal. Image picker, so wants to update that. It's mad about it being JS. There we go. Then we've got updates to our app. Man, it is giving out a ton of stuff. Does it want to? No, it probably just wants to update it so that it uses the new utilities it created. Sometimes Claude overdoes it. Like in a lot of cases, I would prefer it just says, "Hey, in this file, update this function, add this line between these 2 lines," instead of rewriting the entire script with 2 lines of changed code. All right, so let's make sure I didn't get lost. So update the app.tsx. I'm just copy and pasting this over. Add box screen. Does make it a lot faster though if you just copy paste instead of going to search for those couple of lines. So I guess there's pros and cons to either way. So add item screen. And I'm fine like just copying whatever it's spitting out and throwing it into my application because the knowledge base before I started asking these questions, I uploaded all the current state of all those files. What I really should have done is gone over here and created my repository before I started making drastic changes, and then at least from here, I don't want to publish that anywhere. At least from here, if I make a change on this screen, then I can come over here and look at my branches and see that this is what changed. So if I stored everything in my repo, in my local repo, before I started updating Claude or updating the files from what Claude's spitting out, I could easily see what changed if there was an error or if some functionality got lost. So we did the add box screen, add item screen. in the box edit screen. Honestly, I think it's probably just updating it so that we have the reference to those new functions that it created in the utilities. Item edit screen. What are you trying to use async storage for? Successfully updated your React Native storage app to enhanced image picker now offers both camera and gallery options with proper permission handling. Custom permission management request camera storage and NFC permissions on app launch. Custom permission modal, beautiful user-friendly permission request interface. All right. New libraries required. Async storage. The other required libraries are already in use. Image picker, React Native paper, navigation, and Firebase. So the permission manager utility handles camera storage and NFC permissions, works with Android permission systems, support both Android 13 Plus and older versions. Image picker, custom modal. And then make sure, yeah, we're gonna need, all right. So Android app, main Android manifest. And we've got camera, yep. Read external storage, yep. Read media images and NFC, cool. We're good there. Not finding this permission manager, probably because of the capitalization. Put that back. Let's just import it manually. And then options, or those image picker options. Image, what does it need? Camera options. Object URL may only specify known properties. Storage options does not exist in the camera options. Fun. Then this wants image library options. Permission manager. All right. In the new permission manager file which you gave me, the, where is it? Permissions.nfc does not exist. It'll check the latest docs and see the proper way to do it. NFC permission does not exist in the standard permission Android module. Let's fix the permission manager to handle NFC properly. Because we can look over here and see. So since I submitted all that code to the local repo, now all those changes that I copied over, you can come in here and view it. And you see it's importing new stuff from the React Native image picker. Oh, it changed a bit here. Let's see. Oh, so the functions that I added to there were declaring this stuff. So it's just calling the function from those new utilities. It removed this. Interesting. So I guess it's just gonna handle it all right here. And then down here, this loading on the button should like give you a little spinning icon to let you know that there's something already going on, and then, or disable it. Oh no, there's a disable there as well. It's just a way to prevent you from clicking the button multiple times when it's already processing a request. Let's see what it's got to say about the permission manager. Legacy permission in Android is a declarative permission, not a runtime permission. This means you only need to declare it in the anime. Okay, so we only need to declare it. We don't need to request it. Cool. So let's check our manifest again. And we've got Android permission NFC right there. And uses feature NFC right there. So we're good. So let's copy this new utility manager, permission manager. Re-import this stuff because I didn't tell it to use that properly. It still has this here, which is interesting. According to you, we don't need that function anymore. Let's check where it's referenced first so we can delete it from everywhere. I go too far. There we go. Copy, paste, convert this. Don't want that. Don't care about that. I want to export this. So where is our object for this? Get rid of NFC from there. Am I crazy? Let's research. There we go. Okay. So it wasn't being referenced anywhere else. It was just being used in this file. Error. No. Something's going on with our app. Just get rid of these. Need to install async storage though. And then import this from the proper path. Image picker is having a problem. Oh yeah. So we have to ask Claude about that. Anything else have issues? Doesn't look like it, just the image picker. All right, in the image picker file you provided, this code has an error on storage options. And the error is this. Sometimes it'll just take a stab in the dark too. It'll be like, oh, you're right. The storage options property was moved in the newer version, but you can see there's no window there showing that it searched the web to double check that. And you can start to get in a loop where it just keeps, oh, you're right. This is wrong. Let me do it this way. And then it just spits out something else that's wrong over and over and over. Options is, what is this? Camera options. And then this one was image options, image options, image library options. There we go. And up here, just delete it. And you can just delete the last letter here, finish it up, and this is what I've been doing the whole time. I just wait for it to pop up. It's telling me where it needs to be imported from, and I hit tab, and it automatically adds the proper route for that import. I think we're all set. Let's see what happens. run the app again. Oh, you guys weren't seeing the code. So up here, I had this import and it wasn't referencing right. Instead of trying to like go in here and find the proper route, which in that case, it was very easy. You can delete that. Sometimes your stuff will be like up multiple files, down multiple files, and somewhere else. If you come down here, you just delete the last letter and retype it for that object. It automatically finds it. You can hit tab and it'll put the import in for you. Um, that's strange. Wonder because it's building, it's not recognizing it. Or the cache because it's going with this lowercase. That's strange. It just did it properly for me a second ago. So I guess 99% of the time that'll work. It's the first time I've had an issue with it. Cool. So we're app launched. It's requesting our permissions. This app needs the following work permissions to work properly: camera, photo gallery, NFC. You can change these permissions later in your device settings. Cool. Grant permissions to all. So record photos and videos. Uh-oh. What happened? NFC permission error exception on host function parameter specified as non-null is null. Let's I removed NFC from the permissions manager, but it probably needs removed somewhere else. Let's remove the NFC permission requests since they are automatically assigned by the manifest file. So we had a working app in an hour 20. Getting the extra polish, it's taking us what, another 20 minutes? After this, we go through, make sure everything's working. If it's working, attach my phone to my computer, push it over. I might have to get a Google sign-in key, but that's easy too. You can just run a PowerShell prompt. Ask Claude how to do that as well. It'll spit it out. But you run a PowerShell prompt, you give it the data that it requests, and it should spit out a key. You create a file in your Android directory up here, and then it's the key store. Then you, excuse me, then you point it in the Gradle. There is signing. Here it is, signing. So you get rid of this debug, or you could leave it in there. But then you'll have a production or a release version, and you'll point it to the proper location and give it your keys and everything. And that'll allow the Android OS to recognize it as a proper app, and you can run it on your phone. Take that back. You may not need it just to run it on your phone. I think that might just be a process you have to do to deploy to the Google App Store. I'll hook up my phone and try to push it and see if it runs properly. Well, let's take a look at this. So permission manager. Update that. And then update the custom modal. Restart our application. Nope. Hit the wrong window. Restart our application. And let's close this out. It shouldn't be showing NFC anymore. I'm gonna close everything out. Maybe it was cached. I'll rebuild it. still has the NFC in here. I told it to remove that. Mission. Mission. Yeah, I told you to remove that. What about in the modal? NFC. Yeah, it's still there. All right, and this is where Claude gets frustrating. Good idea. Since NFC permissions are declarative only, let's remove them from the mission flow to avoid confusion. I'll update the permission manager and the permission modal to only handle camera and storage permissions. Camera, media, storage, NFC. So you told me you were going to remove it, but you didn't. Could you please create a new artifact for the request of removing the NFC stuff? You did not remove it in the last response. I only updated parts of the file. Let me create completely clean versions without any NFC permission handling. So we got media, external storage, camera, media, external. There we go. So let's grab that permission manager. So it wasn't cached. Claude just decided not to remove it. Permission and permission. Then the modal. And that copyright. There we go. Let's go back to our device. Restart the application. Uh-oh. Close it down. Let's go into Android. And then in the cache. That's going to be a long build again, but hopefully it's worth it. Don't see any errors there. Permission manager, NFC, no NFC. Let's search the whole application. We don't care about those. We do care about the processing of the NFC, which I'll need to test once I get the application on my phone. It looks like it doesn't have the permissions in there anymore. Let me go get a cable so I can put it on my phone once we're done. I'll be right back. All right, I got a cable. Still building. Expected it to fail. Let's get it running again. This time it should build and push it out. Make sure my phone's set up for debug. Yep, good to go. Nah, it'll just be a bot. Wasn't really a how-to, it was a quick vibe coding. What is going on here now? Unable to resolve permission manager from app.tsx. Why aren't you throwing an error over here? It's just a term for when you're using AI to help you code. I think it's pushing it out to my phone. That would help if I told it to build it. Uh-oh. No, app.tsx is still having trouble. No? There we go. Boom. So I got the app on my phone now. No, I'm just live on here. So I only have camera and photo gallery. So let's grant permissions. Allow all. So then let me make sure it's not going to open something crazy. Add image, take photo. Okay. So yeah, I was doing this little 3D world thing. Forgot how to move around there. Like Control, Alt, Shift, something. Google, move around. Picture Taker, Android Studio, Emulator. Move around the virtual world with the picture taker view within the Android emulator. Follow these steps. Launch the emulator, access control, 3 dots. All right, so take photo, 3 dots. Huh? Oh, I can flip. Oh, okay, that's a selfie photo. That's funny. So the camera's pointing at myself. Now it's pointing in the room. Got it. Did it not say use the arrows? All right, whatever. Take the photo, capture the photo. Let's update that. Failed to update item. Failed to upload image. Uh-oh. Dismiss. Let's look at. What is it trying to do with the photo? Should be trying to save it locally or a reference to it. So there's a reference, URI. Huh. Oh well. We're working with Claude. Let's get Claude to answer it, fix it. Let me test it on my phone real quick. So grant all the permissions. Oops. I just allowed limited photos, whatever. So I got my precious rubies. I want to add an image, take a photo, take the photo. Okay. Update. Error updating as well. All right. This is what this selector looks like on my phone. It says cancel, choose from gallery, or take photo. Probably can't make that out. I just realized how crappy my camera looks. It's supposed to be 4K, Insta360, Link 2. All right, so let's get that error window. That's very basic. All right, let's go over to Claude. When trying to save an item with a photo from the camera, I get error updating item. Error. Failed to upload image. Additionally, are you trying to store the entire image, or are you saving a reference to the path on the phone? The highest viewed person in this category has 48 viewers. Whoa. Pretty good. They must be entertaining. This category is usually pretty low on viewers in general, but it fluctuates. It'd be like 100 on one day or 1,000 on another. Probably depends on the time of the day too. But I figured I was gonna make an app. I might as well stream it, see what happens. Plus, when you do vibe coding, that's a big divider amongst a lot of people. I personally think that using AI perfectly fine as long as you know what you're doing. If you're just giving prompts that aren't specific or detailed enough to get what you want, and you don't understand the libraries or the structure of code or just software development in general, you're going to get some really crappy stuff. Even the stuff that I let Claude make for me today, it's there's some stuff that could be changed in it to work more efficiently. But the goal was just to create an app quickly. And it took about an hour, 20 minutes for it to make the app we had. And now I'm just polishing it. And that's going to take a little bit. But it was a working app ready to go in an hour and 20 using AI from a bare bones, brand new React Native application. All right, so image upload utility. I asked you a question too. The blob conversion might be failing. The app is correctly uploading images to Firebase. Oh, we don't want that. No, we don't want that. Let's take a look at our database. Okay, it didn't save anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're good. But we don't want to be storing the entire image in the database because that's going to get heavy. It should just reference the path on the phone to the location in the item. Item should have a URI path to the location in your gallery for that photo. It'd be nice if we could create a specific gallery or folder in the gallery to do that. Not sure if we have permission to do that from just the API and Android settings. Are you storing the entire image as a reference? Storing the full image in Firebase. Yeah, we don't want that. Saving only the download URL in Firestore. This is a correct approach for a cloud backed up. We don't. Ah, that is true. Shit. If I want to be able to use it across multiple phones, I am going to have to store it up there. That's a bummer. Oh well, I'll just have to switch to pay as you go and pay that bill. So I'll leave it as it is. If it was just for me personally, and it wasn't going to be an app that's shared across multiple users, then I would say get the path to the image on the phone and save that path in the database. Don't save the full image. So image upload utility needs to be updated. Oh, this is a new file. Image upload utils.ts and item edit screen. I mean, technically I did just tell it that there was an issue on the item edit screen, but it's going to have to be updated on the add box, the add item, the box edit, and the add item edit screen, because they're all going to have the option to add an image. The old emulator was running, so I wanted to kill that before I started that build, just to make sure we started fresh. Disconnect my phone so it's not pushing it to there every time as well. Are you gonna launch the emulator? No, because my phone was connected. There we go. Woo! Are you shaking your booty? Look at that cake. Did you make those? Alright, so we only updated the item. Let's try it again. It says we should be able to move with ASDW, but that's not doing anything. Add an image, take a photo, capture that, update the item. Still failed. Didn't make it over here. Nice, where'd you make them at? And nothing in the database. Oh, no, I saw we can use GIFs now for our emotes, so I'm going to redesign mine and can create yours. Isn't that your little duck in the egg thing? It's hard to see, it's really tiny. But I could tell it's shaking his booty. Oh, so you just got those from a website and added them to your stream settings. All right. Failed to upload image, Firebase storage, and unknown error occurred. Please check the error payload for server response. I imagine it's just going to be too big. Let's Google it. Save an image to Firestore database. Storing an image directly within a Firestore database document is generally not recommended. That's what I figured. I wonder if I can attach it to a public or private Google Drive. Reference those images. Now let's find out. Let's ask Claude what he thinks the best method is. I do not want to store the images in Firebase. The data usage be ridiculously high. What is an alternative method? Probably a free method of storing the images in a cloud-based server so that they can be shared with multiple users. Cloudinary, Supabase, AWS. Stop. I didn't ask you to code yet. Don't write any code until we finish brainstorming this. Is it possible to use Google Drive and we could put in authentication for the application where you have to log into your Google account and then maybe you can reference access to the files. Is it possible to use Google Drive and allow multiple users to access those images? Yes, Google Drive is definitely possible. It could be a smart choice. Let me break down the pros and cons. Cons: complex permission management. Each user needs access to the shared folder. API setup is more complex than simple cloud storage. Rate limits on API calls. Images aren't truly public. Need authentication of use. Sharing gets messy with lots of users. Hybrid approach. Store images locally on device. Upload to any cloud service only when users want to share a box. Most boxes stay private. No, that's not how that works. Users own cloud storage. Let users choose Google Drive, Dropbox, iCloud. Yeah, doesn't work. It has to be shared. There will be only 2 users for this application, but both of them need to have access to all boxes and all images. Google Drive shared folder. Create one shared folder. Both users get access. Just invite the other user once. Most people already have Google accounts. For just 2 users, Google Drive is probably your best bet because one-time setup, create a shared folder, invite other users, generous free tiers, simple architecture, both users. Does Google Drive sound good? Yeah. Yes, let's, what kind of setup and authentication authorization is required to be built into the application for this method to work? Google Cloud Console setup. Create Google Cloud project. Enable Google Drive API. Create OAuth 2 credentials for Android. Configure consent screen. Install Google Sign-In. User sign in with Google accounts. App request Drive API permissions. Store authentication token securely. You or one user creates a shared folder in the Google Drive. Invite the other user with the editor permission. Cool. So you can do that at folder level. Get the folder ID. Hardcode the folder ID into your app. Complexity medium. Google handles user management. No server needed. Robust authentication system. Good documentation. Cons: OAuth setup can be tricky. Google API quotas and rate limits. Image PB. Just need an API key. No user authentication. Upload image. Get public URL. Store URL in Firebase. Publicly accessible. Honestly, having them be publicly accessible is not that huge of a deal because it's just going to be pictures of stuff that we have in our storage unit. Or images locally, add an export box feature that packs images plus data. No, don't want to go that route. What kind of API limits are we talking about here? A billion queries per day? Yeah, I think we're good. 100 per second. 100 seconds per user. Queries per 100 seconds per user. 1,000 per 100 seconds. Yeah, we're good on that. What this means for your app. 3 to 5 API calls, screen files, have permission to get metadata, realistic usage, maybe 20 to 50 photos per day per user. API call needs 300 to 500 per day, nowhere near the limit. You know, viewing images, loading image list, 1 API call per folder, get image, 1 API per image, realistic usage, checking boxes a few times per day, 50 to 100. Yeah, there's no way we would. Let's go with the Google Drive method. So we're going to have to authenticate the user probably when they open the app. Store the token. It doesn't really ever need to expire. As long as Google doesn't have a time limit on the token, we can let it live there forever. It's on our personal phone. It's yeah. Let's see. 1. Yes. Should the app work offline and sync later or require internet offline and sync? That's a great option to have because we're going to be in our storage unit, which might not have the greatest internet connection at the time. Any preference on organizing images in drive folders? No organization needed. We would just need to track the image ID and match it to the items/boxes. Actually, yes, let's split the images into box images and item images, and then we'll track them as well. Want me to start with Google Cloud setup steps or jump to the code? Let's do the Google Cloud setup. I won't be able to show you guys that part, but luckily I already have all my developer accounts set up. Should be pretty quick. Developer, I think it's this one. Sign in. Android Studio. No, that's not it. All right. That's the Google Play account. Developer account. Oh, it's already set up. Looks like I must have tried doing something. Oh wait, this is a different application. I was like, how is it set up already? I didn't. All right, so Google Cloud Console, select a project, new project. And this is storage unit tracker, billing account, no organization. Create, enable Google Drive API, and your new object are the APIs and services library. APIs and services library. Search for a Google Drive API. Google Drive API. All right. Click on it and press enable. Enable. APIs and service OAuth consent screen. Choose external. Don't see that option. Go to APIs and services. OAuth consent screen. Okay. Choose external. Do not see audience external. So it is external by default. Okay, that makes sense. I'm on the wrong project. So let's go back. API and services, storage unit tracker, enable, Google Drive API, enable, OAuth consent screen, get started. Fill out the required fields, app name, email, cool, next, external, next. Next, agree, continue, create. Okay. Scopes, click add or remove scopes. There are no scopes. So I want me to create a OAuth client. Android. Advanced settings, no. Not seeing scopes. All right. I got to step 4. I do not see an option to add or remove scopes. Good catch. The OAuth consent screen flow has changed a bit. Let me clarify the scope steps. Step 3, revised. Configure OAuth consent screen. Go to API service OAuth consent screen, choose external, yada yada. Did that. Yep. Click save and continue. Scopes page. You might see add or remove scopes here. No, I don't see. Oh, there's one. Data access. Add or remove scopes. You want me to see add or remove scopes. Where was that at? Search and add. This. There it is. Update. Cool. Got the scope in there. Add both users' Gmail addresses. Clients, audience, add users. Let's add myself to this. Save. Create OAuth 2.0 credentials. Go to APIs and service credentials. Create credentials, OAuth 2 client IDs. Application type Android. Get the package name and the Gradle. There it is. And then the name is don't need a key, do we? Yep, we're gonna have to create a key. That's what I was referring to earlier with you want to publish something to the Google store, you got to create a key. Key tool list, key store, Android debug key store, alias, store pass, key. Okay. 27 key file does not exist. I need to run this in powers or not power. It's admin, or am I missing a library? Oh, you know, I think I have to run this in Android Studio. Is there a terminal in here? There's a terminal. Oh, that's just an output window. Okay. I run the key tool. Open a terminal. Command prompt. Still getting the same thing. It looks like it might be a Java issue. I might be missing a path. But I think I'm gonna have to call it quits for the night. I will come back on and try and finish it up tomorrow. As it is right now, everything's working except for that image. We've got our search. I come in here and search for my rubies. There's my ruby. If I click on that, it brings me into my precious gems box, shows me everything I have, and brings ruby to the top. So I come back in here and search diamonds. Diamonds should be at the top. No. So it'll list all of our items in our box. I can add another one here. Say, I'm drawing a blank on gems. Amethyst. Amethyst. If that's how you spell it. Another rock. Save it. And boom, we've got our 3 items. Boxes. I want to add another box. Is that a question mark? A box. I don't like how that mold goes all the way up either. This could be our jewelry box. Expansive stuff. Save it. Kind of want it to save when we create that box. Should take us into that box and we can start adding items. Let's create a notepad. All right, so need to get images to save properly to Google Drive. And then I'm going to set up permissions so that all users can access the drive. Need to create authentication, create Google, sign in, authentication, workflow. Then I want to, when saving a box, go into the box that you can start adding items. Then from the main screen, if we add an item, okay, so we select the box. If I do this, what does it do? Please select the box first, cool. And does it get in there? So put it in the jewelry box. I got the test. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Well, shoot. So yeah. The app is working. Man, I suck at swapping screens. So the app is working as it is. We just can't currently save with an item. So I have to set that up tomorrow. It was up. I should have turned it off like 5 minutes ago when I was describing what I'm describing now. But everything's working. We can go in here. We can create new boxes. Toolbox. Holds my tools. We just can't add an image right now. It's having trouble saving that image. So I'm going to hook it up to Google Drive so that we can do that. But you see there. Oh, where did it go to Precious Gems? It seems like it just goes back to the last page that you were on. Okay. But I added the toolbox. If I go in the toolbox, I can need to move those buttons too. Buttons on bottom need to be adjusted. I can add the item, wrench, items things. Save it. And the toolbox is already selected because we were in the toolbox. So that item should now be in our toolbox. There we go. Our toolbox has one item. It's got the wrench. And then if I search for a wrench, there's my wrench. I can go in here, click it, and it brings me into my toolbox. And this is automatically at the top. Same with like the gems. It has multiple items. Amethyst is at the top here, but if I search ruby and I select ruby, it brings that to the top so that we know for sure that it's in this box. The box name is here, so you reference what box it's in. We're gonna add the authentication workflow so that we can use Google Drive. And also when you are in a box, or when you create a box, when you save that, we should go into that box so you can start adding items to it. I should be on tomorrow working on this some more. Hopefully we can finish it up. Was that like 2.5 hours now? Yeah. So 1 hour and 20, it was a functional app. And then I spent another hour just trying to polish it. It'll be a little bit more to get authentication in, but it would have been days or weeks trying to do that without Claude. Just writing the code alone for a couple of those pages would have taken as long as it did to write the whole app. As long as you know what you're doing and you understand the code that's being produced, AI is a great tool. It speeds up everything. Let's go ahead and commit all this. Add permissions and image handlers. I'll commit it that way. It's in a working state now. When I come back tomorrow and start working, if something breaks, I can check what had changed and hopefully identify the issue faster. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we can catch some of y'all in there. Everybody have a good night. Later.